Forgiveness, process and progress. Musings, musical and otherwise, with yours truly, Tom Pickett. First song is People Get Ready. Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions. People get ready. There's a train a-coming. Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. Come on, come on. So people get ready for the train to Jordan, picking up passengers coast to coast. Faith is the key. Open the doors and board them. There's hope for all among those love the most. There ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save his own. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner, for there's no hiding place against the kingdom's throne. Come on now, people get ready. There's a train a-coming. Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. People get ready. Hello, my friends. For my contribution to Black History Month through Western Gold, I will be sharing some thoughts from Dr. King and others, along with one or two original offerings, accompanied by 4 cover songs that speak to me, one of which you just heard. I don't have answers or solutions. This, like me, is a work in progress, part of a larger deep dive into forgiveness and relationships. Some questions that come to mind are, how do we get along? Do we want to? I don't believe good people wake up in the morning, find their feet on the floor, and decide to wreck as much as they possibly can within their field of vision. People that hurt so much that all they can do is spread as much pain around as they can. Individually, I believe we all want community, but is the deck stacked against us? Lizzo, in her Grammy acceptance speech, said, not only can people do good, but we just are good. We are good, inherently. I will take her at her word with this stipulation. We need help. How is it possible to love, befriend, build community within a system that devalues you on sight unseen, on principle? A system designed to destroy you. How do you, with people who subscribe intentionally or unintentionally to that system? First, we must decide community is the goal. Then, find the common ground that validates the life experiences involved to reconcile, to forgive. Forgiveness is not forgetting. Remembering is not vengeance. If we are all sinners and if we all are forgiven, then we all must forgive unconditionally, with love, expecting nothing. Luke 6:37, do not judge and you will not be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. For someone to forgive unconditionally in the face of their learned or experienced racism is a divine act. Human beings cannot do it without divine intervention. A poem. Jesus helps me. Jesus helps me see through the fog of the thoughtless aims of my demigod. That voice that steals into my mind to corrupt the teachings of Jesus Christ. That voice would have me suspicious and afraid, isolated and vengeful for past transgressions made. I, only human with powerless effect. Without your divine intervention, my life would be a wreck. I am only human, my path and misery intersect. Only you can heal me. On your gospel I reflect. By Tom Pickett. No matter how many times I came home from school with stories of racist experiences to relate to my mother, she never taught me racism. My mother would stand at the sink. It seemed she was always standing at the sink. Dishes, meal prep, fixing me something. She would listen to every word uninterrupted. And when I had finished, she would turn to me and say, well, son, there's good and bad in every race. But Mom, son, there's good and bad in every race. I can't remember the rest because I was sure at the time my mother didn't know what she was talking about. Didn't she know the rules of this game? You've got to do unto others before they do you. Come on, Mom, load me up with the ammunition I need to fight this war. She tried, but I was not listening. I decided to follow the counsel of others. They got you, so now you must get somebody. They suggest a system not meant for you anyway. So when you take the bait and try to participate, you quickly find you have made a big mistake. I could have claimed exhaustion, playground vengeance. I would not have jumped on that bandwagon of judging based on their race, color, creed, or where they lived. I would not have followed someone else's script. I would have given them the benefit of the doubt. I would have listened to my better angels, my mother's teachings. Every time I don't, I misstep. Next song is Fire and Rain, James Taylor. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen a lonely time when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. Just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen a lonely time when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time. My back turns towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Spent hours of time on the telephone line, talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again. I thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Made a plan to see you, baby, one more time now. Thought I'd see you finally. Someone said to me, this is not head work, it's heart work. We Real Cool by Gwendolyn Brooks. She saw some school-aged boys playing pool. Considering their situation from their perspective, she wrote, the pool players, 7 at the Golden Shovel. We, real cool. We left school. We lurk late. We strike straight. We sing sin. We thin gin. We jazz June. We die soon. An excerpt from Dr. King's speech addressing the Montgomery bus boycott at the First Montgomery Improvement Association, held at the Holt Street Baptist Church December 5th, 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama. The Almighty God himself is not the God just standing out saying through Hosea, I love you, Israel. He's also the God that stands up before the nations and said, be still and know that I am God. That if you don't obey me, I will break the backbone of your power and slap you out of the orbits of your international and national relationships. Standing beside love is always justice. And we are only using the tools of justice. Not only are we using the tools of persuasion, but we've come to see that we've got to use the tools of coercion. Not only is this thing a process of education, but it is also a process of legislation. As we stand and sit here this evening, and as we prepare ourselves for what lies ahead, let us go out with a grim and bold determination that we are going to stick together. We are going to work together right here in Montgomery. When the history books are written in the future, somebody will have to say, there lived a race of people, a black people, fleecy locks and black complexion, a people who had the moral courage to stand up for their rights. And thereby they injected a new meaning into the veins of history and of civilization. And we're going to do that. God grant that we will do it before it is too late. As we proceed with our program, let us think of these things. But just before leaving, I want to say this. I want to urge you. You have voted for this boycott, and you have done it with a great deal of enthusiasm, and I want to express my appreciation to you. on behalf of everybody here. Now let us go out to stick together and stay with this thing until the end. Now it means sacrificing, yes, it means sacrificing at points, but there are some things that we've got to learn to sacrifice for. And we've got to come to the point where we are determined not to accept a lot of things that we have been accepting in the past. So I'm urging you now, we have the facilities for you to get to your jobs, and we have the cabs there at your service. Automobiles will be at your service, and don't be afraid to use up any of the gas. If you're fortunate enough to have a little money, use it for a good cause. Now my automobile is going to be in it. It has been in it, and I'm not concerned about how much gas I'm going to use. I want to see this thing work, and we will not be content until oppression is wiped out of Montgomery and really out of America. We won't be content until that is done. We are merely insisting on the dignity and worth of every human personality. And I don't stand here. I'm not arguing for any selfish person. I've never been on a bus in Montgomery, but I would be less than a Christian if I stood back and said, because I don't ride the bus, I don't have to ride a bus, it doesn't concern me. I will not be content. And I can hear a voice saying, if you do it unto the least of these, my brothers, you do it unto me. And I won't rest. I will face intimidation and everything else along with these other stalwart fighters for democracy and for citizenship. We don't mind it so long as justice comes out of it. I've come to see now that as we struggle for our rights, maybe some of them will have to die. But somebody said, if a man doesn't have something that he'll die for, he isn't fit to live. Our next song is God Bless the Child by Billie Holiday. Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. But the Bible says, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. So the strong get more, while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Money, you got lots of friends crowding around your door. But when that money's gone and all the spending is, they won't want you around no more. Rich relations may give you a crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't you take too much. Mama may have and Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Oh, money, you got lots of friends crowding around All the wind that gold is gone, and all them good times end. They don't want you round no more. Well, rich relations might wanna give you a little crust of bread and such. Gonna help yourself, son, but don't you take too much. Mama may have and Papa may have, but God bless a child who can stand back and say, I got my own. Well, he just don't worry about nothing, 'cause he's got his own. He's got his own. Sight by Tom Pickett. When I see your children suffer, I weep for them from my soul. When they are sick and cry for mother, I long to make them whole. I can see yours as I can see mine, no matter how long they've seen the light. I can see your children's humanity. How do I give you sight? You will not hear my children sighing, crying out for mother, blind to opportunities, not to treat them all as other. You refuse their need for love. You will not give them light. Our children live in your darkness. How do I give you sight? See them, hear them, care for them, our children, as our grace shepherds yours. White women of the world, lend your voices to our cause. For without your siren song, we will never right this wrong. Come, step into the light. How we need your sight. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you so beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear. I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise. What a wonderful world by Louis Armstrong. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, my friends, that's my time. It's been a pleasure to share some of this music and musings with you. A warm thank you to Western Gold's Artistic Director, Tanya Dixon Warren, for creating the opportunity, and Stephen Bullitt for engineering for us, and our camera operator, Caleb O'Brien. Fantastic rest of your day. Thank you.